Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful Sunday here. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm taking a little break because I need to take a little break. Let me tell you what I've done this morning. I started dishes first. I hadn't done dishes in 3 days. And into those 3 days, I've cooked. I've cleared out the refrigerator, so I have lots of containers and lids and casserole dishes that I needed to clean up and lids and all of that. So I've been working on my dishes all morning. I haven't gotten to like the silverware and the utensils and stuff. I always do that last, or I wait and I do a whole nother dish dish session with just those. So that's where I'm at. But I was working in the dirt, and so I'd go back in and do some more dishes, keep my hands clean. I've got all of my plants planted that needed to be planted. All of those are done. I've moved some stuff around. I got all of my melons and cucumbers planted over in that secondary area. And what's funny is one of the little girls that was in the cabana. I hadn't let the chickens out yet because I wanted to get that done before I let chickens out. So I had no choice but to do it first thing in the morning, before daylight, basically, as daylight was hitting while Solomon was still running. Anyway, she watched me. And once I let all the chickens out and everybody was out, um, I caught her up there on the gate, looking down in there, seeing what I had done. And I literally picked this bird up and she latched onto my arm and I carried her around for several minutes. But she just was looking in there to see what I had done. And it's really difficult for them to be blocked out of that area. So we'll see how that works out. I've got young girls that could fly to the top of the house. As a matter of fact, last year, at the end of the year, Pearl and P2, two yearlings, were flying up to the top of the goat barn. And they'd be sitting on top of the goat barn. I was like, but anywho, we'll see how that goes. I do want to work with the little turkey today. I want to take it outside and put it in one of the chick runs and let it get some exercise outside. I also would like to um, try to introduce it to some of the little girls. Or I don't know, if it was a boy, I don't know. I need to work with the turkey. It needs some love. It was hand raised. I mean, and now I've got it in that building with those little chicks, and they too were hand raised. So, but they're chickens, and they know they're chickens. It doesn't know that it's a turkey. So I need to work with that. I've got Lily outside. I haven't given her meds yet. I'm going to wait till after a while. I'm going to be dividing her meds into one a day just to take the edge off of anything that she might have going on. I want her to work. But I think that when she gets to feeling really good, she's going to end up hurting herself. And that's what's scaring me about it. What else? The pup's coming, like very soon. I want to tell you her name so bad. I really want to tell you what her name is, but I think I should wait for her introduction. Um, what else? All the little babies are doing good. I think the last one born is what they are looking for when it comes to leg to body, neck to head ratio of length, because it can tippy toe and it's pretty tall. It's a lankier one. It is the last one hatched. I have not lost any. The fencer guy, he's down to 3. He said he had five hatched, 2 died, and he only has 3 of his Indio gigantas. So we emailed back and forth. So between the two of us, we have 7 out of 20 eggs. I mean, seriously, out of 20 eggs, which is about the ratio I got with my 22 eggs that I tried the first time around. Um, I really wanted to blame my husband for drowning him when he was the night that he got the humidity up so high. And I think that's what happened to some of them. Yeah. I think the ones that were already starting to really develop, that was too much for them. Now, the ones that weren't quite as in the process, I think those were what we see now. 5 out of 22. Did I don't think, did I put all 22? I think I did. I think I loaded it up. I don't remember. I'd have to go back to video. Um, but anyway, I've got those eggs that were not hatched. I turned off my incubator. I've got it put away. And I've got those eggs that were left in the garden. I am going to bury them way beneath my tomatoes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dig down underneath the tomato area and just bury them down there. So that way when the roots start going down, they'll find some nourishment. Anyway, what else? Not a whole lot. I am hungry and I'm going to make a big breakfast this morning. I know it'll probably end up being brunch, but I have some pre-cooked bacon. I have some ham, onions, peppers, spinach, all kinds of cheeses. So I'm thinking a scrambled egg bake or something like that. My husband asked for cookies, so I'm going to bake some cookies for him. I have some more of that dough. I pulled out another frozen one that I got cheap. So I'm going to make that for him. I'm thinking about making some pancakes just to stock up in the refrigerator because my husband really likes that. Like late at night, he'll do peanut butter with pancakes and syrup. And so I'm thinking about making some pancakes while I'm doing something else there. What else? Maybe some canned biscuits just to have some biscuits laying around. But we're hungry. I'm hungry. Yesterday I didn't eat a whole lot. I haven't given Lily her fruit yet, so that way I can get my strawberries frozen for my drink later. Um, so I need to get her fruit done, give her one pill today, and go with it. The garden's looking really cute, you guys. I've got some decor I want to put in there too. So once I get everything done, then I'm going to throw in a few elements of whimsical kind of decor and see how that looks. I'm real excited about that. I'm kind of waiting on some of my trellising because I want to see which way the vines are going. I'm having a hard time figuring out the zucchinis that I have planted that way. So I don't know. I might have to change them to another pot and then maybe put flowers or something behind there. Maybe plant some flower seeds or something. So I'm not liking where those zucchinis are and how we're going to have to do them. So I might have to bring them to another pot down at the end, swap up a few things, or I'm thinking about swapping up a few things. We'll just put it that way. So anyway, it's been busy. I'm very busy. This is very busy for me. And of course, I start before daylight. And so by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm really ready to settle in. But I'm hungry today, so I'm going to eat first before I settle in and get some stuff cooked up so that we have food prepared. Tomorrow, I got to go to town and pay some bills. Yeah, Lily bills, really regular bills. And I really want to talk about this subject. I really wanted to touch on it yesterday, but I was so angry about it. I knew that it would come off, like really bad. I watched the movie Hunger Games. I also watched the movie Purge. I've seen the movie Civil War. There is another movie, and I cannot think of what the name of it is. It's where people are divided into classes, and that's who they are. I just heard something weird. Oh, neighbor. Okay. Anyway, so I've seen these movies, Mad Max. Um, and right now, all of those are kind of like Rolodexing in my mind when I came across the fact that Homeland Security is actually considering games competition for immigrants to get their citizenship. Now, we heard Donald Trump speak of having an immigrant wrestling team. Now, Homeland Security is actually considering a Hunger Games kind of immigration competition for citizenship. MAGA? When will it be too much? When will it be too much? Our criminal king is in the Middle East accepting bribes with people who are murderous. Ladies, he's he's in there with Sharia law. I don't want to live like they did in biblical times. That's not who I am. I should not have to. But the way our nation is going, we could be a Christian nationalist country with Hunger Games for immigration. You know, when people want to continue to talk about the Afrikaners, they need to really do their research. They need to really understand it is not a genocide. It is not a genocide. There is a difference. And so when people say that it is a genocide, it is not a genocide. And white supremacist Nazis, whatever, are going to compare what's going on there as a genocide. It is not. Reality. And they are never answering the question that I have. You are okay with these people coming in and getting protected by a temporary protective status as a refugee to our country and get your housing and your food and your expenses paid, but you're not okay with the Haitians who came here, worked below their skill level, their education level, and you said they ate the cats and they ate the dogs, which was a lie. And their TPS has been taken away. You can't make it sound okay. And if you don't comment and you don't listen, you'll never know what's going on. You have to question. Because if you're listening to one side, you're not listening to everything. And that is what I have always said. You know, I'm big for the Second Amendment. Oh, yes. But I'm also big for the First Amendment. Free speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion. I'm also for human beings, humanity, empathy. Call it woke if you want to understand the plight that people have gone through historically and what their ancestors went through. That's okay. It's okay to have empathy for people. Our country is losing its mind because you're not paying attention. You're just not paying attention. There's a lot to pay attention to. I get it. You know, I have to sit down for 15, 20 minutes every hour. That's because of my injury. So yes, I'm keeping up on stuff probably a little better than most. But I'm going to tell you something. When I'm questioned by Christians about supporting Biden, Biden is a religious man. Biden never sold us out for himself. Hunger Games. Immigration as a contest. If you don't see anything wrong with this, well, then you are lost ball in high weeds. Or the golf ball at the bottom of the golf course, pond, water, whatever it's called. Your president has sold you, me, our country, our Constitution. He sold it. He just wants to be king. The Heritage Foundation and all of those cronies are what is taking over our country. Project 2025, no matter how many people argued, that is what is going on, and you cannot be okay with it. There's no way that you can be okay with it. Well, I don't like trans people. Well, guess what? They probably don't like you much either. But how in the world does a trans person hurt your life in any way, shape, or form? Economically, they do not bother your life. Happiness is what you make it. Have they stopped education? Have they sold us out? You've got a health secretary that said, oh, people shouldn't listen to me for medical advice. Excuse me? You are the very one that should be giving good and sound scientific medical advice. We have a measles outbreak that is bad. And he's off swimming in toxic water and in Congress saying, well, people shouldn't listen to me. Aren't you the one that people should listen to? But you know what? You're too much of one of these crazy conspiracists. Conspiracists? Yeah, I don't want to listen to you about health advice because I believe in vaccinations. I believe in eating healthy, but I also believe that vaccinations have saved a lot of problems, a lot of lives in our history. He made a comment about the fetal aspects of the vaccination for polio. It is no longer that. That is no longer in there, guys. No longer. It's now synthetic. It's not real. There's no fetal matter in your vaccination. Wake up, America, because your king has sold us out. Has sold us out to the highest bidder in a plane. Y'all have a great day. Hugs from distance. I need to go eat something because I'm hungry. Bye, y'all.